Hey everybody, Kyle here with another episode of Game Time. This is a double feature, Indiana Jones. I've done one of these in the past. We did a Miss Pac-Man one, kind of took a look at a fun Miss Pac-Man game for the Genesis as well as Maid's Madness for the N64. I'll provide a link in the description to that video to kind of see where the series has come. This is I believe the second one here, and who better than Indiana Jones for this double feature? We're going to play a little bit of two games featuring Indiana Jones. Luckily, as you can kind of tell here, we have the Nintendo Wii, and we have the game The Staff of Kings. And I'm fortunate because on this particular game, it comes with another game included. I believe it's only on the Wii because it's more of a point-and-click adventure. Staff of Kings itself is also available on the PS2 as well as PSP, which if you're not a big fan of the Fate of Atlantis point-and-click adventure, I probably would recommend those just because the controls are a little bit more normal and common. But if you don't mind having a bonus game, and Fate of Atlantis is actually a really great point-and-click adventure, very early 90s, I would highly recommend picking up the Wii version. So here we're going to just kind of take a look. You know, we have some, I'll go to Journey Onwards in just a moment. So we have our options, we have our journal, kind of what's been happening in the game so far. We have a tutorial, passport, even a co-op journey, so that's kind of fun. Extras pretty much just include some unlockables. We have movie trailers from one of the 4 indie movies, concept art, skins, kind of nice. You find some treasures in the game. You can get Big Heads, Henry Jones, I believe that's the Sean Connery character, his father, Tuxedo Indian. You can play as Han Solo. That's pretty cool. Extra game modes, of course. There's the multiplayer games, combat arenas, and Fate of Atlantis. We'll get to that in just a few minutes. Credits, of course. So what we're going to do here, we're going to do get the opening stage. Yeah, I'm here in Panama. I'm going to go to the beginning of the game. How about that? That was tricky. See how the game opens up? Let's play the first section of this game here. I'll show you a little bit later on in the game as well. Kind of opens up like the indie movies. Kind of like that a little bit. There's going to be a lot of references in this game to the classic trilogy. Great music too. I might turn this up a little bit. It's the Wii graphics and visuals. They aren't the best, but actually the game's not too bad looking, even for the Wii. Voice actor sounds a lot like Harrison Ford. I like that. They did a pretty good job with the production of this game. Facial animations aren't necessarily great. But here we go. Here we got the game itself. I'm using, of course it is on the Wii, I'm using the nunchuck and Wii emote. Can do spin around there. I can use the D-pad on the Wii emote to kind of move my camera up and down, right and left. Throw some punches, so there's a little bit of not only Tomb Raider in this game, but a little bit of punch out, it seems, because you'll actually, with this game, so that's pretty fun. I kind of like this on the using the Wiimote for the whip actions. Some good stuff, I think. Again, this is the opening stage. There's a little bit more to later in the game. Lots of good fights, of course. Block on here. There we go. I take that back. Visuals actually aren't too terribly bad. It's not showing up. I'm recording here on a tablet. It's not showing up really great on the tablet. My apologies for that. But the actual game itself is not too bad looking. You can see the prompts on screen. Kind of shows you what to do. Again, this is the opening mission or stage level. Must have collected what was in there already. A little bit of a cinematic adventure too, kind of not unlike some of the recent Tomb Raider games or Uncharted series. I think it fits pretty well for indie. Spiders off there. And similar to the movies as well, kind of far from a perfect archaeologist. This has a few issues. Let's get another fire going here. Some pretty nice puzzles later on in the game. Nothing too challenging though. Guess we're not going back that way. Oh, that was close. I like that statue just kind of tossed in the pit there. Priceless, you know, that could have been easily a museum piece. But good whip action. Let's grab our treasure and get on out of this temple. Pull the remote back. There we go. Thanks, Henry. Just one thing after another. Whew, almost lost the hat there. Again, the voice actor for Indy's pretty spot on. Really sounds like Harrison Ford.
The idol, Jones. How are those reflexes?
to see how Indy will escape this adventure, definitely feel free to check out the game for yourself. Again, Indiana Jones and Staff of Kings, PS2, Wii, PSP as well. Pretty good story overall. And also a quick side note here, like I said, a little bit later in the game we get to explore some other environments. Here we are kind of in a Chinese setting here. So the game's not all exploration, there is some good punch-out style fighting here. This is the part I'm not necessarily a big fan of. I think it would be a little bit nicer to play on the PS2, quite honestly, because I'm kind of flailing the Wiimote and nunchuck like a lunatic, really. Okay, I remember what dodge was now. Alright. Both A and B buttons, there we go. This is where I feel the fighting the game kind of takes a little bit of a weird turn. I'm not a big fan of the fighting, but it is what Indiana Jones is pretty well known for, especially in the movies, so. I think I came from that way. I'm going to go this direction. So yeah, like I said, oof. A little bit more to the game other than just exploration as well. There's some good fight scenes, so definitely again worth a little checking out. And as promised, the second part of our double feature, might as well have another one here, is the Fate of Atlantis. This is the not exactly quite sure what year. It's definitely early 90s. It's an old PC game. It's a point-and-click adventure. As you can tell, a little bit of a difference. But I like this. Okay, 1992, so I was right there, early 90s. But this is exclusive on the Wii version because, of course, if you're going to have a good point-and-click adventure, you might as well have the Wiimote to go with it. So, this is actually the very beginning of the game. It's a little bit slow to start off with, so I'm definitely not going to play a little bit. I'm just going to show off a quick scene, and we'll cut to a little bit later in the game because it's actually a pretty good story as well. Can you see what this is? A little bit of a different style gameplay, so I got the little hand there. I can kind of look for.
It's a stone carving of Shiva.
Can move around, sort of like a mouse.
An Egyptian statue of Horus.
Click on this here. Little humor in the game as well. Like I said, that's kind of a little bit of a slow start, so can get to a little bit of an idea. Let's go later on in the game. Okay, like I said, just a little bit later in the game, you can kind of, here's what the actual game itself looks like. You have a few different things you can do to various objects. You have a little bit of an inventory that you can use and whatnot and whatnot. This is kind of, again, early in the game. Indy is trying to get backstage of this little movie theater here. So you can kind of point and click your way through, try to get into the back door, all that fun stuff. Etc., etc. And again, the game has a lot of humor to it as well. And definitely isn't, before too long, you're exploring more temples and tombs across the world. Lots of story. It's very dialogue heavy, so if you're not kind of into those games, you might not appreciate Fate of Atlantis too much. But definitely a fun little game here, so I think it's definitely recommended. Fate of Atlantis and Staff of Kings, two great Indiana Jones games that you can get both in the compilation set here on the Wii version. So look at that classic Indy Jones right there. So yeah, this is Kyle, wrapping things up. Thanks everybody for watching, much appreciated. Definitely enjoy having you with us for another video, and we'll come at you in the future with some more great double features and various miscellaneous games in general. So again, thanks much for watching everybody, much appreciated, and we'll see you next time.